Hey you, welcome back. I'm Paige Poppy and I'm an artist. I live a very creative lifestyle, but I also live a dairy-free lifestyle. And I've eaten this way for about 2 to 2.5 years, and I share about it a lot on my Instagram. And I wanted to sit down and share my tips for being dairy-free because there was a time where I thought I could never, ever live without cheese. To this day, cheese is my favorite food, but I barely ever eat it, and I'm here to tell you that it's possible. So if you're interested in pursuing a dairy-free life, or maybe just reducing how much of it you eat, I'm going to share what has worked for me and allowed me to keep pursuing it after all this time. Before we jump in, I do want to say a little disclaimer that I am not a nutritionist or a dietitian or an expert in any way. I'm simply sharing my experience having done this for a while. So it's always important to, know your own body, know your own health, check in with your doctor before you make any big changes in your life. And I also think it's important to know that your own body image and body positivity comes first. I did not cut out dairy out of my life for a aesthetic purpose or to look a certain way. It honestly has just made me feel better. There might be things that do change aesthetically. For me, not eating dairy has really improved my skin. That has been just a happy surprise for me, but the most important thing I've enjoyed is just feeling so much better. Okay, so first I want to share my experience of starting to eat dairy-free. I was not diagnosed as lactose intolerant by a doctor or a nutritionist. I just started to feel like this was something that might benefit me, mainly because I ate dairy with every meal. And when I went out to eat, I always gravitated toward whatever had cheese on it. And I had started to do a little research that dairy is known to cause inflammation in the body, and I did feel really bloated whenever I ate it. And I will say that having stopped eating it, also my digestion has improved, but that was not the main thing that interests me. It was mainly the bloating. When I was eating dairy, I would eat it, and within a few hours, I felt like I had gained 10 to 15 pounds in my midsection in particular. My other big thing was that I started to feel really tired during the day after a meal with dairy, and that was starting to affect my work and my productivity. So that was really why I thought, okay, let's try this out and give it a go and see if it can improve and really affect my life in a positive way. Like I said, I always joked that I could not live without cheese. I never thought this would be possible for me, but having done it now, these are the tips that I think will help you. My first tip, which may not be what you want to hear, is that I really made an effort in the beginning, especially, and now, to avoid the products that are cheese replacements or cheese substitutes. I didn't have as much of an issue transitioning like milks or yogurts because those weren't my main cravings, and I think we all can agree that drinking almond milk instead of regular milk is like not that difficult. And I found that when I ate the cheese replacements, it almost made it worse because I was eating them and like kind of getting that cheesy taste and texture, but not all the way, and it almost increased my craving for cheese more because I just wanted that satisfaction of eating real cheese. How many times can we say cheese in this video? We'll see. And honestly, if you pursue eating dairy-free this way, I find it a lot easier because you're not having to spend time to research dairy-free products, and you don't need to look up restaurants with dairy-free options. I don't even research it, and I feel like that's very healthy because I'm not fixating on it mentally, and I can just go out to eat and get something different, like a salad or some meat. There's other options for me. My second tip is to be easy on yourself and to love your body. The reason that I started eating dairy-free was to honor my body and make it feel better and make myself feel good. I really wanted this to be something that I was just doing that's good for myself, and so I would encourage you to have that mindset too. It's 2019. I think we are all pursuing body positivity, which is wonderful. I think that's one of the best trends ever. I really did this to feel good, and I try to spend as little time as possible beating myself up. If I do go out to eat and have a little bit of dairy or try a bite of something, it's not the end of the world. Certainly over the past 2.5 years that I've been doing this, I have had days where I've eaten a lot of cheese. I've gone to the Minnesota State Fair and eaten the whole day, and everything there is basically drenched in butter. So what can you do? Sometimes you just have to have fun, which brings me into my third tip. If you are gonna eat dairy, and maybe that's one day a week, one meal a week, whatever works for you, just enjoy it and soak that in. It's really not worth it to eat it if you're like regretting it the entire time. So have I gone to the state fair and enjoyed myself some cheese curds? Yes, I have. But I will say that over time, it gets easier not to eat dairy. And I found it ends up helping me make healthier choices. And a lot of times cheese is associated or an ingredient in heavier dishes like pastas. So that's kind of an added bonus that I've noticed in my own lifestyle. I basically just crave vegetables all the time now, which is awesome. That's a good way to live. Now for my fourth tip. I know we were just talking about eating out, but if you are just getting started with this, you may want to try cooking at home a little more often, because you'll know what's going into your food and that your food wasn't cooked in like a ton of butter. You can know what's going into your dish and cook with vegan butter or cook with almond milk instead of heavy cream. And that's going to start helping your taste buds getting a little more used to not having those rich dairy textures and tastes anymore, which I think kind of just makes everything a little bit easier for you. And tip number 5 is going to bring us back to the beginning when I was talking about dairy substitutes. Like I said, in the beginning, it's easier to live without them, get used to not eating cheese all the time if you were as addicted as I was. But now, a little farther into this journey, if you can call it a journey, I do eat some dairy-free products that are like specifically made that way. But what I want to recommend is finding those dairy-free products that are not packed with a ton of fillers. A lot of times the cheese taste in products is replicated with like wheat products and yeast and potato and starches, and I've gotten into the habit now of looking at the ingredients on dairy-free products and seeking out the ones with more whole foods ingredients. So a lot of common ones are like flax, sweet potato, which is, you know, leaning a little healthier than a potato starch, tomato, different kinds of seeds, garlic, cashews especially. Although they're high in fat, I enjoy those because they are a whole food. And I'm sharing this tip toward the end because this is something that's taken me a lot of time to learn. I used to go to the grocery store and just grab anything that was advertised as dairy-free. But when it comes down to it, a lot of the ingredients aren't the best, especially the yogurts I've started to avoid because it ends up being just like soy milk and sugar essentially, and there's not a lot of food value there. But if you do have a dairy-free yogurt you love, please comment below for me because I would love to get back into my yogurt granola fruit game. That would be great. Now let's get into my last tip, which is kind of a hack. I want you to walk away from this having some ideas of what you can go and start cooking. And I have 2 things that have really helped me in the kitchen. My first hack is black beans. Something about black beans, you put some salt on them, you heat them up. The texture is very similar to cheese in my opinion. Honestly, pinto beans too, but I just like black beans a lot. So I'm a gal that loves a good burrito, even a bad burrito. I like any kind of burrito. I'm from Arizona, you can't blame me. The Mexican food in Arizona is amazing, chef's kisses. So try that out if you need something to get started with. Or my second tip is pesto. Pesto is so flavorful, man. You do need to watch because most pesto includes Parmesan cheese, which is a low lactose cheese, so it's not the worst thing in the world if you eat it. But I have found a couple of brands from Whole Foods or my local grocery store that are vegan pestos, or you can really easily make your own pesto at home. And I will do a sauceless pizza with pesto only, or even sauce plus pesto, and then put all the toppings on there, and you won't miss the cheese. It's kind of like eating a good flatbread. I think I can really credit black beans and pesto for making this journey heck of a lot easier for me. So there you have it. I hope you can walk away from this a little more informed, or hopefully encouraged if this is something you want to try for yourself. Once again, I am in no way telling you that you have to eat this way. I'm just saying this is something that has really helped me. I do not get a lot of upset stomachs or pain anymore. I'm less tired. My skin has benefited, which is great. So although it's been difficult, it's been all good things. And I will say I am not perfect at this, even this far into it. I'm not very picky when it comes to bread having milk in it, or if I go to the ice cream shop and get some vegan ice cream cream. If the waffle cone was made with milk, I'm not gonna worry about that too much. It's been, you know, cooked. So I am in no way perfect or an expert, like I said, but this has been a great lifestyle change for me, and it's been great in being body positive and honoring myself and trying just to take care of myself. You know, we only have one body for the long term. I want to feel this good when I'm 85. Fingers crossed for that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And you are in luck because my video next week is going to be what I eat in a day dairy free. And I thought I would share those videos back to back just so we can get all of the ideas and goodness and inspiration all grouped together. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I will say I don't talk about food all the time. I usually talk about art and creativity because that is my career and my passion. So if that interests you, I'd love to have you here. All right, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. And until my next one, I am sending all of my positive and creative vibes your way. Bye.